The Holy Empire interrupts your regularly scheduled programming to address the epidemic of fucktards present outside of the Holy Gates. What's poppin' interwebs, and welcome back to the Romulus Rant. Today's installment is episode 5 of my Proof series. If you haven't already seen episodes 1 through 4, link in the bio and the end cards. If you love this video, don't play yourself by not subscribing and checking out the entire series playlist. Apropos, today's episode represents one of the most extensive and comprehensive essays to address the quote-unquote Clorox Bleach FTL speed meta, a la Ichigo Kurosaki. As per usual, in order to fully submit a definitive answer, we have to first address 4 points, the first of which being the most convoluted cap to dreaded debate of them all, light speed and bleach. The Ceros of Amenos Grande is an official Clorox Bleach data book confirmed light speed attack. To argue that spiritual light is slower than regular light is the lowest form of disingenuous fuckardation imaginable, with literally no canon statement, no feat, nor use of authorial intent anywhere in the entirety of the franchise or its extra material sources to back this fuckhearted headcanon stance.
Really him. You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
Add to this the fact that spiritual light and all of its quantum mechanics, included but not limited to all Ceros, acts upon the spiritual realm precisely as natural light does on our own universe. In fact, every available example of light after the first arc would strongly imply that it has to be faster than light given the constant power cliffing, a thing which is easily explained away by the wonders of Reishi. And all of this, coupled with the only notable delineation between the makeup of the living realm, our universe, and the spiritual realms, or soul societies, being that one consists entirely of Kishi, i.e. matter, and the others consist entirely of Reishi, or spiritual matter, which you would be forgiven for likening to antimatter for the remainder of this essay. Spiritual light is not slowed down by the presence of Reishi within it, nor due to its concussive effects. The light of the soul societies, like everything else in them, are fundamentally composed of Reishi, or for the purpose of this analogous cooperation, basic photonic mechanics of the antimatter universe operate the same as they do within the world of the living. Beyond that, I suppose you could somehow misconstrue that they are literally parallel realities to one another. Consequently, there are no scans, no data books, no press releases, no feed, nor quotes from the mangaka or the characters within the manga, light novels, or the anime that ever directly or otherwise state, imply, or insinuate that the world of the living or the soul societies are parallels in size to one another, but rather that they are simply parallels to each other and two sides of the same coin. A parallel dimension, also known as a parallel universe, or alternate reality, is a self-contained plane of existence coexisting adjacent to our own. Also, the sum of all parallel universes that constitute reality is commonly referred to as a multiversal complex. Beginning of series, Rukia-powered substitute Shinigami Ichigo casually blocked and then countered a Menos-fired Cero in rapid succession. Rukia-powered Ichigo is casually 20 to 99% the speed of light. I say casually because this same Ichigo blitzed and clapped 80% power-restricted Lieutenant Abarai. 100% Renji in base is at least FTL or 2 times faster than light, given that he wrecks every lieutenant that dodges the Geishion light. Yet after manifesting his own Soul Reaper powers, Ichigo washed Renji with color-safe bleach at his pre-power cliffing maximum, making base pre-power cliffing Ichigo at the very least 7.5 times faster than Abarai. Thus, substitute Shinigami Ichigo is 15 times faster than light. And before y'all literally stab me in the back, possess my future waifu with Clorox demon speed and become more of a driving force of violence in my son's life than I am because it was all a part of your plans in the comments. Roll the clip.
Bankai.
Like lightning, Ichigo presses Byakuya with godlike speed and attacks him at close range. For some fucktarded fucking reason, everyone, including some of the experts, ignores the big black, bold, and blatant kanji for godlike speed, superimposed right next to the excerpt, and only focus on the light lightning part. Here's why they, and you by extension, if you're also a fucktarded fucking fucktard, are all wrong. Like lightning preceding the comma prior to the rest of the sentence directly conveys that Ichigo is pressing Byakuya like lightning, which strikes with tremendous force and gravitas, and that he does this with his godlike speed. No? Bing search, DuckDuckGo, or Google the kanji for lightning, god, and speed. Which actually tracks since fake Shikai Ichigo was able to blitz and clap 3 other Renji-level lieutenants and block Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki's signature Shunpo attack, all in rapid succession of one another. Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki was trained from childhood
FBI, open up!
in Shunpo by the literal motherfucking flash goddess Clorox Queen. Fuck Kisuke.
It should have been me, not him!
If blitzing 3 lieutenants makes Post Zenkai totally not Shikai Ichigo no less than 15 times faster than light, blitzing 3 lieutenants and forcing Captain Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki into Bankai in order to inflict any significant damage makes Shikai Ichigo no less than 150 times faster than light, which makes Bankai Ichigo no less than 1.5 thousand times faster than light, or godlike speed, as the Clorox Bleach data book kanji clearly confirms him to be. Side note, if it helps any, try to keep in mind that pre-Bankai training Ichigo was already a captain-class Soul Reaper according to the Gotei captains Jushiro Yukatake and Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki, who made no attempt to contest the statement of the veteran captain having been there at the time the statement was made. Soul Reapers, or more accurately Shinigami balances, i.e. Death Gods, are literal Council of Kings variants of the Grim Reaper. They are
actually Satan!
Angels of Death whose fodder-level waifus, mind you, need to limit their powers by 80% so as not to affect or influence the death goddamned universe, and even they are canon confirmed as faster than light. How much faster than massively faster than light Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki do you think you would have to be considered God speed? To be excruciatingly clear, substitute Shikai Ichigo is not only twice the lieutenant's speed, he is at very bare minimum 10 times lieutenant speed, thus Bankai Ichigo is at bare bones minimum 1500 times faster than light. Ignoring my own blatant and intentional speed nerfs, Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki is still at least 100 times faster than light in base, 1000 times faster than light in Bankai, with his Senzanbakura pedals moving twice as fast, i.e. at least 2000 times faster than light with the assistance of his hand movement. And Bankai Ichigo still did this.
Impossible. He sliced through all of them. See, now that's some bullshit.
A miracle only happens once, huh?
Congratulations.
So, what do you call this?
You played yourself.
Bankai Ichigo is casually 15,000 times faster than light, which, again, in a world of fodder-tier dimension destroyer, sounds just like Godspeed to me. I could keep going, rationally stacking Soul Society Arc Ichigo's speed, but let's move into the power cliffing canon.
This is the end, Ichigo Kurasaki.
I have no name.
Bankai Holification Ichigo is casually 150,000 to 300,000 times faster than light. The Holomask is at least a 10 to 20 times multiplier, as Kaname was inferior to Komomaru in the Ryoka invasion arc in Bankai and ran circles around him once holified. It wasn't even necessary for him to utilize his resurrection to defeat Saijin Daicho. FYI, the Visor training completely explains why Ichigo Getter's Bankai is a 10 times multiplier rather than a 5, given that all of his power buffs are Clorox canon confirmed, equalized, and strength and speed increases. That, and that he didn't fully master his holification until part 2 of his training with the Blade God.
You're the one.
That said, for the sake of the Bankai 5 times multiplier crowd, we'll just stick with the 10 times mass multiplier. Ichigojo, the Honored One, receives an order of magnitude Zenkai power boost from each battle subsequent to acquiring his fake Bankai, his first Bankai, which is why he gave Norithra the heebie-jeebies while heavily fatigued and yet to recover from his second epically pitched battle with Grimjaw the Goat.
The goat! The goat!
Spiritually drained, Ichigo was still relative in power to the 5th ranked Espada. Fully healed, he could dodge and even caught strikes from base Inferior, and even pushed him to resurrection after donning his actual motherfucking Lucifer Morningstar devil face. Now, before we calculate speed any further, we have to determine two separate factors. What is the actual multiplier for Vasto Lord Ichigo, and what is the actual multiplier for post-Vasto Lord Ichigo Bankai Holification? Vasto Lord Ichigo is no less than a 1 trillion times multiplier, which we know to be true since base Ukiyo is relative to a Getsuga Tenjo from post-Grimjaw Round 2 Bankai Holification Ichigo, i.e. a 15 billion times faster than light attack, as the name Getsuga is a 1000 times multiplier and or increases Strawberry Kurosaki's destructive capability or attack potency and attack speed by 1000. But Romulus, you gorgeous holy half-ramp monarch, you say. Ukiyo still didn't decide to resurrect until after Devil Face
actually Satan
blocked his point-blank Sero, which broke your boy down like a Ford POS in their initial bout. And to that, I concede. My only rebuttal being that the results of this bout will be the same no matter how many handicaps I do or don't place on the Shonen Strawberry Shinigami. On a more philosophical point, the Vasto Lord form was a manifestation of Zangetsu's warning of Ichigo becoming a horse. That was not Ichigo saying he must protect Lord Hime. He nearly yeet those Clorox cookies outside of the milk way just to flex on Segunda and top of Ukiyo. That was Zangetsu saying that he would protect Ichigo at any cost. Argue with Yoshido or Dumama. Consequently, base Ukiyo is logically bare minimum 150 trillion times faster than light.
Imprison. Murcielago.
Which translates to 1.5 quadrillion times faster than light in his resurrected form, and 150 quintillion times faster than light, even if we nerf his Segunda Atapa. Although narratively, he is closer to 440 quintillion times faster than light, nerfed, if we take into consideration that he was still able to cut Vasto Lord Ichigo. Let's go the even more nerfed route, shall we? That's a 10 times multiplier for the Sarah Oscarus, or 1.5 quintillion times faster than light, and another 100 times multiplier for the nerf Lonzo. And while I could easily and demonstrably prove why Fatigue Vasto Lord Ichigo is several orders of magnitude stronger than a simple Blitz power stack, none of us can argue that the Fatigue Vasto Lord Ichigo form blitzed Ukiyo, i.e. Vasto Lord Ichigo is casually 2.2 sextillion times faster than light speed at full power. Nerf. Which, even nerf completely tracks, as Ichigohan Beast would have had to have been moving at a minimum of hundreds of trillions of miles per hour in order to travel across the various infinite layers of hell in rapid succession, which makes the Vasto Lord form a 1.5 trillion times multiplier to Ichigo's post-Grimjaw Bankai. The canon supported route would have both Segunda Atapa and the Lanza as a casual 10,000 times multiplier, or a casual total of 1.5 septillion times faster than light. Roll the clip.
Ukiyo's Lanza is confirmed to travel at light speed and took at least 5 full seconds to make impact with the sands, i.e. at bare minimum it traveled 1.5 million kilometers, and still managed a mushroom cloud that dwarfed the fortress in height, as well as a sand and pyroclasm, the impact of which was heavily reduced by the infinite sands, still managing a wash up and recede over Las Noches like a tide, from several states if not entire continental distances away.
And while I am aware that this calc will grind a lot of gears in the pro-Hellverse camp, riddle me this. If Hellverse Ukiyo, unassisted by the Lanza, was actually relative to Vasto Lord Ichigo because he could tag and push him, then why did he lose with the Lanza? His Oscarus was a 10 times multiplier, the nerf Lanza was another 100 times multiplier to his AP, and movie Vasto Lord even negated the 3-prong Lanza with his base Sarah. But I digress. Regardless to which method or parameters you choose to apply, the Lanza del Relampago amp has to be around 20% of Vasto Lord Ichigo's AP and DC, i.e. relative in power in order to cut him. So, what's the multiplier for post-Vasto Lord Bankai Ichigo? Clearly it's not a 10 times multiplier, or he would not have been able to sense Aizen's power even when Ishin, Urahara, and the waifu Nubian Queen couldn't. No. Tight motherfucking Kubo didn't demonstrate that his unnamed Getsuga could damage the Zero Espada. Byakuya motherfucking Kuchiki did not send that man to Karakura Town to die. Hishiro Retsu Kimpachi Unohana did not mention twice beyond the power of Captain with less than half of his Reishiko over a 10,000 or even a 10 million times multiplier.
前回ならもっといけるって。
そんなバカな。あの市役所は普段と比べると半分もない。 今の冷圧が半分。私はその冷圧を体頂角に匹敵する万全の冷圧だと錯覚していた。
Pre-Vostolorde Bankai Ichigo is 150 plus million times faster than light, or fifth Espada class, while post-Vostolorde Bankai Ichigo toppled and bled the Zero Espada with an unnamed Getsuga without looking, let alone consistently tanking and blitzing around his 20 plus times faster than Sero Bala Baja Blast, with less than half of his overall Bankai power. Post-Vostolorde Bankai Ichigo is casually 3 quintillion times faster than light, which is a 20 billion times multiplied to his Bankai base. We know this to be true because topless Ichigo, because topless Yoruichi, because Ichigo was even more relative in power to Yami than he was to Nordic threat, having expelled a demonstrably greater amount of Ryatsu in his battle with Ulquiorra than with Grimjaw, as well as a greater display of AP or DC against the Secret Espada as opposed to the Misogynist. And Yami still jumps in power via his resurrection 10 billion times that of his base. Either way you slice it, that same Ichi Ghost Rider went on to fight a fusion of Shirosaki and a clone of the almighty Quincy King the 12th, Day of Hanukkah, in the Clorox Bleach hyperbolic time chamber for 3 months straight. All things equalized, this unspecified fusion multiplier should be the sum of the two souls that create Zangetsu multiplied by each other. But fuck it, let's lowball the Clorox fusion multiplier to only an order of magnitude times 2. On the one hand, this makes nerfed Dangai Ichigo 45 septillion times faster than light, and when you're the son of a guy who held together a collapsing 4 to 5D pocket realm for a quarter of a year, plus angelic pure blood along with Vostolorde Ski, which allows you to eat straight through literal hell and lay waste to the entire low multiversal complex dimension, acceptance quickly becomes less of a chore. On the other hand, without being nerfed, Zangetsu is much more powerful than nerfed Horn of Salvation Bankai Ichigo, which, by the way, is only if we don't apply the Dragon Ball Z fusion multiplier. And even that is only assuming that Soul King Yuhababa Yahweh II exempted the Mugetsu from his statement, which he didn't, as Ichigo didn't defeat Godzin with the Dangai form. The Mugetsu is not a form by any stretch of the imagination. It is the final Getsugo Tensho. Only rather than absorbing some of your Reiryoku for a Titanic Ryatsu release, it absorbs all of your Reiryoku for the largest Ryatsu expulsion imaginable.
At last you are able to fire a shot at will, Ichigo. So I shall tell you. The destructive power of an attack is 1,000 times greater when you know its name than when you do not.
If the Getsugo Tensho has a 1,000 times multiplier to its name summons, then how large of a multiplier would you give to the final Getsuga Tensho? 10,000? 100,000? 1 million? Kubo himself is on record with the Mugetsu being the most powerful technique of the entire franchise.
Wait! I have a riddle for you.
Name me just one Hogyoku-powered god-tier hero or villain's One Punch Man serious technique that has a Kubo GOAT excerpt next to it in a data book, on a manga scan, in an episode, etc. from the 1,000-year Blood War arc.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
So nerfed, the Mugetsu is a 100,000 times multiplier, i.e. 99 million times faster than light, and conservatively, it's a 1 million times multiplied to his Dangai form, i.e. 506 septendecillion times faster than light. So, Smooth Criminal Horn of Salvation Shikai Shiro times Watch with Throwing Young Yiddish Hold is 506 quindecillion times faster than light, and 759 quattro vingentillion times faster than light in his Horn of Salvation Bankai form. Casually. Let's review, shall we? Rukia Power Ichigo is casually 20 to 99% the speed of light. 100% Renji in base is at least 2 times faster than light. Substitute Shinigami Ichigo is casually 15 times faster than light. Shikai Ichigo is casually 1.5 thousand times faster than light. Pre-Arrancar arc Bankai Holification Ichigo is casually 150,000 times faster than light.
Watch! The last time that we battled together, I couldn't read any of your moves at all.
Roll the clip.
I won't even acknowledge the part of the community that doesn't believe that Ichigo routinely receives Zenkai, aka power level boosts beyond this, as multiple opponents have stated as much, including Grimjaw, Noretra, Ukiura, and Aizen. Let alone the fact that his upper limitless growth is literally the reason the Vanguard considered him a war potential.
Ichigo receives an order of magnitude Zenkai power boost for each battle. Calling up the name of the Getsuga Tensho is a 1,000 times multiplier. Base Ukiura is casually 150 trillion times faster than light. The Segunda Etapa Lanza del Relampago is casually 150 quintillion to 1.5 septillion times faster than light. Full power Bastori Ichigo is casually 2.2 sextillion to 22.5 septillion times faster than light.
Bankai.
俺は仲間を助けに行くだけだ。
黒崎。
But allow me to elaborate just how casual these speeds are by his Hellverse speed. Bankai Ichigo traveled across 5 infinite/universal-sized regions in under 20 seconds, meaning it takes post-Arrancar arc Bankai Ichigo roughly 4 seconds to cross an infinite distance, 1 to 2 seconds with his hollow mass multiplier. The Vassalori form is a 1.5 trillion times multiplier to Bankai Ichigo's strength and speed, while Nerf Dangai's strength and speed is the Vassalori form times 20,000. All things equalized, the Dangai form strength and speed buff is White Jackson 5 Shiro times Rabbi Adolf El Shaddai E Hova after the Black Album drop. Conservatively speaking, who gets his strength and speed boost is a 100,000 times multiplier, though with cross-verse equalization, it's casually a 1 million times multiplier.
月牙になることだ。最後の月牙天使。
Infinite speed is the ability to perform actions in 0 seconds, or being infinitely faster than light. BT dubs, movement within an unlimited time stop qualifies as well. Immeasurable speed is being able to perform actions where time does not exist or being beyond the 3D concepts of time and distance. If Hellverse Ichigo traveled across at least 5 infinite realms in the span of 4 seconds per infinity, yet a much faster end-of-series Ichigo took 9 hours to travel from the Soul Palace to Sarate, wouldn't that make the distance he traveled 6,480 times further than that which he traveled in the Hellverse flick? That range is the area of effect of Yama's heavily suppressed Bankai, at half power, mind you. Dodging the Osvalin light would quantify anyone capable as bare John Bones Jones fucking minimum, far above massively faster than infinite speed. And IchiGodzilla is casually 7.5 times faster than that, in base form. For the sake of argument, let's just say the Osvalin light took an entire 9 seconds to travel that same distance, which for the record and anime onlys, it most certainly did not in the manga, and most definitely won't in the Japanimation either. My overall point is that this would clock even bother-tiered Gestapo at 3,600 times faster than True Shikai Ichigo's vacation travel speed, making the Mugetsu casually over a 20,000 times multiplier to Dangai Ichigo. If Hellverse Ichigo can traverse an infinite dimension and or dark matter plus universal-sized plane in the span of 4 seconds, that makes the distance from Rayo's manse to Captain Commander Shunsui's man cave casually 6,400 plus times greater than the distance across a singular infinite realm, or, lowball to the point that it is literally blackballing and blue, 7 trillion plus light years multiplied by nearly 6.5 thousand, which equates to 45 quadrillion 500 trillion plus light years from point A to point B. Nerfed, which even the wackiest Dragon Ball cosmology-sized purists I've encountered would have settled for as an accurate estimate as the size of Universe 7, leading right back to the solid confirmation of the Battle of the Gods punches and Yama's Bankai feat being parallels, given that Ginryu's size area of effect was the exact equivalent. Another far more butthurt-inducing method of measurement is to view Old Man Yama's words at face value, and the Soul Society does not refer to the infinite time-space continuum that the noble blood of Serete lords over, but rather the entirety of all Reishi realms, from Wakeful Mundo and the Valley of Screams to Reverse London, the Dangai, and Garganta. The spiritual world is described as Soul Society, and Soul Society is described as the spiritual world. What if Yamamoto's area of effect was everything that exists in the Clorox cosmology except for the world of the living and Hellverse? This particular method not only fits like homicide paraphernalia, like totally not O.J. Simpson gloves, in every required metric, it also completely strengthens the argument that Fira Yuha Baklava and Shawarma Bar Mitzvah alone could steal Shikiguni's Bankai. But I digress.
It's not that your Bankai couldn't be stolen, you fool.
What? What the fuck?
It's just that your power is so great that only someone as strong as I can handle it.
FYI, the Horn of Salvation alone is still not sufficient to scale to Yuha Baha Mind Comp Hashel Fe due to the Grand Rey Getsuga not killing him, even if only to the point of coercing an almighty revival. This inarguably either makes Horn of Salvation Ichigo's true Bankai far surpassing a 1+ billion times multiplier, or a reality warping hack that defies even the almighty. Allow me to articulate. The Grand Recero is so powerful that the lowest ranking Espada could destroy an entire pocket dimension by employing it. We know the interior of Las Noches was a pocket dimension because 1. The exterior surface space of Las Noches is only 500,000+ square kilometers, and 2. The interior of Las Noches has its own main sequence star, i.e. a sun. Thus, the interior of Las Noches is anywhere from a literal 93+ million miles across to an entire stellar microcosm, which is to say, at minimum 1,500 Sol to Rigel-sized stars across. Which makes nigh perfect sense given that even according to my Espada power scale, Basic Uyori is 100,000 times stronger than Aranjero, and even when nerfed can gain another 1 million times multiplied to its base form. Without the nerf, that's a 10 billion times multiplied to its base form, and Basta Lorde Ichigo is still casually 100 times stronger. Nerfed. And 50,000 times stronger without it. So, heavily fatigued Basta Lorde Ichigo laying waste to all of low multiversal complex Hellverse isn't even an outlier feat. Subsequently, a Grand Recero equals the destructive power of the 4th ranked Espada's sword release, i.e. at least a 1 million times multiplier to its base form. Thus the Grand Rey Getsuga is casually far more than a 1 billion times multiplier, and Judeo-Ashkenazi Johann Bach still feared the true Bankai while remaining cool, calm, and collected when faced with the Grand Rey Getsuga technique.
Ichigo, what you've been using so far is merely a fragment of your total power.
For any whom take issue with a 1+ billion times multiplier, or hell, even for those who mayhaps simply argue it to be an outlier, discount Jehovah Jezebel Josephus Ben-Hur told Ichigo at the end of the series that our top main character had only been harnessing what little power was capable of slipping past off-brand Judas Iscariot's ability to hold it back. And Ichibei motherfucking Hyosebe, allegedly the most powerful Soul Reaper ever,
Stop the cap.
was able to resurrect from goddamn death using just a fucking smidgen of his power. True Bankai Horn of Salvation Ichigo is casually 364.5 duodecillion times faster than infinite speed. Argue with Kubo or your mama.